This is a game called Greenlight, Rewrite, or Pass.
Okay.
Delece knows best.
Pass.
Delece goes into struggling production companies and fires everyone she believes is slowing down development.
Green light.
Absolutely
I would have
green
watched
light.
that.
Let's see how that will go. So let's say you walk into a company and you notice that you have to let Gregory go.
Yeah, let's do a test.
So, Gregory,
Yes.
my goodness.
I've been doing great, right?
You have incredible charisma.
Thank you.
And
I've
I
heard
think
that.
you would do a much better job at the front desk because the computer skills that are needed for this job are just so tedious. People need to see your face.
The last part would be like, and there's no front desk open here, so you would have to
Right.
find a.
I am going to recommend
You would have to find
to
a
another
front desk
network.
hosting.
Yes.
Across the street.
That's a good one, Amir.
another front desk.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm Judge Greg Mathis.
And I am Linda Mathis.
Welcome to Mathis Family Talks.
All right, welcome back to Mathis Family Talks. Today we will be diving into a little bit of the history of Hollywood, specifically with Delece James, who is an extraordinary executive producer, entertainment executive. For over a decade, she actually was the vice president of Mathis Productions / Telepictures Entertainment, which has been responsible for a host of hits, including the legendary Judge Mathis TV show, what else? Trap Queen series on BET Plus, and a number of other projects. So we are happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Three movies, don't forget that.
Yeah, 3 movies. Look, I knew I was going to forget something. It's too long of a resume.
It's all good. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
She was at Fox before that as a
Yep.
studio executive. So on and on and on and on.
You have anything else to add there? Because I know you.
And just superior executive.
Okay.
Oh, I love that. I received that. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, so talk to me a
Thank
little
you,
bit
Greg.
then about how you and my dad, because I don't really know the story even, how you and him started working together.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we owe that to Laretha Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
Worked
a
out
phone
well.
call from Laretha, and she was like, "Are you familiar with Judge Mathis?" And I'm like, "Of course." And she's like, "He's looking for a new development executive." And I was like, "Okay." And I had just come off of a maternity leave because my position, well, not my position, but Fox, my division at Fox got shut down
Oh, wow.
while I was on maternity leave. So I didn't have a position to go back to. So I was like, "Oh, I'll stay home and take care of my son. When do you have the opportunity to be home? Especially as a Black woman and a young Black woman." And so when Laretha called, it was perfect timing because I was ready to get back into the workforce and flex my development muscles. And so I met with the judge and Gus Blackman, and I think that was like a 3-hour meeting.
Probably were having more fun than,
We had a
than interviewing.
If it was 3 hours, she talked for 2.5.
I was going to get to
Okay.
that, but now you laid it
So
up.
I
was
got
gonna say,
you. It was, I'm telling you.
What was your impression? I mean, obviously you probably saw him on television, cracking
Yes.
jokes, so you knew he had a big personality.
Yes.
But meeting the man for the first time, especially a 3-hour meeting,
Yeah.
what was that like and just adjusting to working with him
So
and
for-
his jokes and his...
Yeah, for me, it felt really comfortable. Sometimes you meet figures who are on TV and they're larger than life.
Uh-huh.
And he just was really down to earth.
Mhm.
And so I responded to that. And I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx.
Mhm.
And so I felt like there was like almost like a kinship, even though it was, Detroit and the Bronx. Like we have conversations
Hey,
about
And
that.
believe me, she
But-
needed that Bronx background for the first year or two.
Well, now, why do you
know
say
who
that?
I am.
Leslie,
I
wanna hear it from
I'm
you.
skeptic of everybody.
Yeah.
I don't trust people.
Yeah.
So I'm accusing her or looking behind her or thinking she doing something. And so,
all I know
I'm...
is she must be tough. If she lasted, she was tough.
Yes, and I
Thank
tell
you.
you, yes.
So Bronx
Was
State
that
for
an
her.
Yeah, there was a
adjustment
lot
having-
of show me
okay.
your work product.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
okay, I got this work
Okay.
product. I'm quick. Let's go.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
felt up to the task then. It
I
wasn't
did.
intimidating for you. at
It
least.
wasn't. That part was not intimidating at
Uh-huh.
all. Yeah. I think for me, it was more adjusting to the politics of Telepictures and Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
which was a different environment than Fox. All the studios, sometimes people lump them in like to this similar box. but it was a very different environment. And so the judge really helped me navigate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did y'all have a lot of battles y'all had to fight together? Any crazy stories? Because I know how this industry can be when you're pitching
I believe
projects.
She told me once, that sticks out. I believe you told me you had Queen Latifah committed to a show we were going to do. And I come to find out that wasn't true. So it didn't happen. I didn't hear from Queen Latifah. And I think I called and asked her.
Uh-huh.
So I might have been, she going to blame Gus or somebody else.
We're not gonna throw Gus under the bus. I mean, he's not here to defend himself.
Perhaps her agent. You know, they say things, or managers, and so.
But regardless, Queen Latifah was not produced.
I don't remember that.
Everybody talk to no Queen Latifah.
It's very possible.
Latifah.
It's very possible.
You know her.
But
You
I
can
don't
talk
remember.
to
it.
Yeah,
her.
that's your
Somebody
friend.
Delece.
That's how I found out. I'm not going to big time y'all and say I went and talked to her personally.
I was definitely tasked a lot with attaching talent to projects.
Because that's how the industry works. Yeah,
it's a huge part of getting your project sold and across the finish line. Back then, now more than ever, but still back then. And so I don't remember Queen Latifah. I mean, more recently, there was an LL Cool J attachment that had to happen. And even though the judge had a relationship, I took the initiative to make that relationship happen and connection before we brought the judge in.
Yeah.
So,
and before I called him.
Yes.
I directed you all to him, knowing that we have goodwill together and we're buddies. Yep. But I don't do that unless I know it's something someone would be interested in, and or it would take them to another level.
That's right.
And he's already a A-lister, so it wasn't as if I was going to reach out for a...
Yeah.
So
now hold on. Now, you all know that I like to get to the real juicy stuff.
Yes.
What's the worst idea he's ever had?
Ooh, the worst idea.
And be honest.
She can't come up with one, so...
I mean, it's tough for me because I was always, even when I was an early development executive and a junior exec, I'm always looking at what's that morsel within the idea. What's that nugget that you can turn into something great?
And that's what she's been the best at. Me giving her a shell, and she turns it into the real deal. And sometimes the elements of the shell that I give her, well, don't you? And she does it so nicely, and I can't speak today.
Smooth,
you similar. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Well, I guess you did just get in town, I guess, right?
Well, that 5 hour, but other than the 5 hour, how about a late night?
I don't know who we had that late night with.
Well, y'all went out on the town
we were out at the event.
Yeah, but we didn't stay there all
at an
night.
event.
And you know.
Yes.
But to go on a positive note, what was the project and the moment that you all had and you know, got greenlit or completed where you were just like, damn, we really did this?
Trap Queens, which is now in its 4th year of original, and now they're also playing the reruns.
And explain Trap Queens for people who don't.
That's a great project.
Trap Queens was shown on BET Plus, and then they later showed those seasons on linear BET on the cable channel. But it's essentially a show about women queen pins who got rich, went to prison, came out, changed their lives, and then helped to change the lives of others. Glad to say that most of them help women who have formerly been incarcerated or their children. So it's like going back. And, you know, that's what I'm about. And so, boom. I know one of the things that happened, Patty Turner, who's like a sister to me in Detroit, she had so many crooked friends from her early days in Detroit, like all of our early days, we got crooked friends. So she got crooked girlfriends that went ahead and became rich and came home and were doing things. So she comes to me a couple of times. I need you to help such and such. Throw me a few hundred or whatever. So I did that twice. And then he said, ding. I said, a lot of them are going to be coming home because of Obama. And Patty know them all.
Yep.
So we started out with, was it 6 women in Detroit over the course of the series?
Yes.
And that's how it really came about. We had been speaking years earlier about having a show that showed former women that's boyfriends
Correct.
were big dope dealers.
Yeah.
And we showed their afterlife when the money ran out.
Yeah.
That's what we were going to cover.
That was Drug Princess Diaries.
Yes,
Yeah.
but-
And BET passed on that.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to ask too, because I know y'all had to fight to get a lot of these projects to the light of day. I mean, Hollywood just did not understand a lot of the work, from what I understand, that you all were trying to do. You had people tell you point blank, nobody wants to watch criminals on television.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear about a criminal overcoming their obstacles.
Right.
Nobody wants to
Right.
watch that. Have you all ever, what's the maybe craziest pitch meeting y'all had that just went completely off the rails and just didn't work?
Man, that didn't work. I feel like if once we get in the room,
Okay.
right? I feel like with my development, like research and pitch materials, and the judge's ability to like understand the business, the strategy, and he's a showman. I feel like when we got in the room, like we nailed it.
Yep.
Oh.
And so if they didn't buy it, that was
That was
for
on
some
them.
other
And
reason.
And somebody else
but
probably
we
bought it.
literally delivered in the room.
Okay.
And the fact is, you know more about the number of production companies and how many shows they've come out. But, of course, we know Tyler Perry, we know Oprah, and many others. But we had 6 shows come to air, Mathis Productions. 6 television shows actually air. And as you know, the odds are about 10,000 to 1
Yeah.
to get a television show aired. And then we've had 3 movies we've done. And so I think we've achieved a lot of success. But maybe not. I mean, where do we fit in the scheme of small Black production companies bringing stuff to air over a 12, 15-year period? 6 television shows and 3 movies. Would you say that's...
I'd say we're doing really well,
Okay.
especially when you put it in the context of us being a small Black,
a 2-person operation?
exactly, production company.
Yeah.
And we don't have outside investors.
Correct.
So all of the capital that, went into producing a lot of those materials came from you.
Yeah.
I think we did a lot considering it was a 2-person operation. I feel like if we had a bigger team and more resources, we could have done way more, but I'm very proud of the work that we've done.
I am too, because
Awesome.
one of the things I noticed about what the work you all have done is a lot of times when you come into Hollywood a certain way, reality television, they try and keep you in a certain bucket.
1,000%.
Y'all have done reality. Y'all have moved on to feature films, TV shows. I mean, every single corner of the industry, I think.
Yeah.
How?
The feature part was challenging because we knew that with the American Gangster Trap Queen series that some of these stories were more expansive than 42 minutes, right? Like the judge knew also. He was like, no, we're only telling a very small aspect of their story. There's more meat on this bone. And so we were telling BET over and over and over again, but because they were really focused on the success of the series, they were like, we'll get to it. And I think it wasn't just, we'll get to it, we want to focus on the series. It was really like, you guys don't do features, you don't do film, so we're not going to focus on that. So when they actually went and started developing their first one, that's when we were like, oh, wait a minute. What's happening? You do understand the power of what this could be. So I went and read one of the Save the Cat books and created a treatment, which is something that you need when you're pitching a scripted series or a feature film. So I wrote a treatment for our 2 features that we did after that for Tanisa and Dwayne Curry and submitted it to one of the execs at BET Plus. And that's how we were able to start that conversation.
Okay.
But they didn't take us seriously in the feature space before.
And what was it that made them take you seriously? Do you think it was just the persistence?
It was just my writing was so good.
For sure.
The showman and the executive.
That's right. I'm gonna close. You put me in that room. If it's in anywhere in the sphere of what they're looking for, I'm closing.
Yeah.
Hi, what was your experience? You started or you co-starred in one of the movies?
Yeah,
Dwayne Curry.
and that's why I asked the
Story.
question, because when I worked in politics in DC for 10 years, but when I came out here, it was with a reality television show with the family.
Right.
And I was blessed with the opportunity to work with you all on the Fighting to Be Me, the Dwayne Curry story. That was one of my first feature films as an actor. And I just know how difficult it is still to have this industry take me seriously as an actor because I came in through the reality TV route. And so I just you got to prove yourself. You got to prove yourself. I got to continue to train. I got to continue to audition, and I got to do the work.
And you
so
got to take the initiative
yes.
too.
Wow. Yeah,
like that's what we learned.
Yep.
And I think with all of the changes that have happened, especially since the strike, there are more opportunities for people to wear multiple hats where it wasn't that way before.
And
so
I think
now
we'll get to that later, which is a
Right.
great point about the different avenues where you can release your work. And that's what I've had to do, is working with smaller creators with different budgets. That it's not always going to be a studio project.
Right.
You have to create for yourself, and you got to find your community and put your work out there and be willing to take those risks.
And so I want to migrate to learn more about you, Delece, and have people learn more about your path to the executive room. I did some research, and we never spoken about this, but you used to be an NBA dancer.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
A strip club dancer. I never knew that.
Wait a minute. How did you get this research? I want to know what you actually.
Yeah, were you there? Were you a John?
Tell me that.
I do deep research for every guest that comes on this show.
He's like, I'm a professional.
And
What club?
Thank you.
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, they got strip clubs in there.
The Dolan Suite.
The Dolan Suite. The owner suite. No, I was very proud to know of your early success as a cheerleader for the New York
Knicks.
Knicks that just won. Told y'all she ain't let me sleep, so I can't speak.
And then the Nets.
Yeah,
also.
and the Nets as well. So go ahead, Amir, finish your question.
Yeah, no, and so that's just like I thought that was so beautiful, because there are so many people who are like, I didn't go to school for this. This wasn't my lifelong dream, or like I pivoted a certain way and then I got back into the career that I wanted. And you followed so many paths of what you wanted to do. And so I just want to hear that story and kind of, tell your story.
I'll try to make it concise. So I grew up in the Bronx, and I went to Hofstra, and I majored in TV at Hofstra. I started as a journalism major, and then quickly realized I was not about the journalism life, and I wanted to switch to TV and TV production. And so I ended up getting an internship at HBO while I was there. I think it was junior year. And when I got out of college, I got a job at HBO. They were like, come back. You were great. We loved you. And then that took maybe about 2 or 3 months when I got out of college, got a job at HBO. And then I worked there for a couple of years and got promoted, and I was doing well, but I didn't feel like it was my purpose. And I was, 24, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And I really had this kind of bug in my ear that it was something more. And it's weird, my path took a different turn. I joined a network marketing company because a Black woman at my job who I really respected was like, oh, there's this company of young Black people who are trying to take over the world and become wealthy. And they were all coming from backgrounds like mine, right? They were all coming from the hood in various cities around the country. And so I joined that company. I did really well. I became the first Black RVP in that company. ACN is what it's called, Tag Team Marketing.
Yeah.
And from there, I got introduced to personal growth concepts and books about personal growth, like Les Brown and Tony Robbins, that I had never heard of before. And those things really helped shift my perspective on what I could be in my life. And one day with Tony at one of his crazy seminars, he was like, write down everything you've ever wanted to be in your life. And at the top of my list was to be an NBA dancer. Now, I had auditioned to be an NBA dancer like right out of college because it was just the thing that you're a New Yorker, you're a dancer, like that's what you do. And I didn't make it past the first round. Like I basically got typecast. They were like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I guess I had always had that dream and it was deferred, right? Because I didn't want to be a starving artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the job. I went to the audition, booked the Knicks. It was crazy, 400 plus women. I hadn't danced really in 6 years, so it was crazy.
Uh-huh.
And so that was kind of a Shark Tank, and I didn't really enjoy that experience, but it was a beautiful experience. My parents got to come see me in the garden. So the next year, I switched to the Nets, and I say switch, but I had to audition,
Mm-hmm.
and that was an incredible experience. I'm still friends with some of those girls to this day. I stayed with that team for 2 years, and from there, I got opportunities to tour the world as a background dancer with different artists, Deborah Cox, Alternate. I've even done an award show for Beyonce. I've danced for Tyrese.
Wow.
So I've had, this really incredible experience of traveling the world, being from the Bronx,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Like my first show, I had to get a passport because my passport had been expired. I hadn't had one since I was a child. My first show was in Istanbul, right? And so the time for me booking the job to getting on that plane was like 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And that blew my mind and changed my life. And so from there, I was coming back home to the Bronx and I was like, oh, this just doesn't feel right anymore. And we ended up having shows in LA, which led me to move to LA. And then I danced in LA for a few years, traveling, went to Japan, did different shows in Japan for extended periods of time for
Mhm.
Suzuki, I think at the time. And then I was like, okay, I want to start a family. Like, I'm not going to be able to do that on the road. Like, I got to figure it out. And so that's when I called HBO in LA. And I was like, hey, I used to work at HBO New York. I checked, my bosses were still there. They were like, oh, yeah, tell them we love you. And so then I got a job at HBO within like a month
Mhm.
of deciding. So for me, it's been like kind of trusting my gut and my instincts and just taking that initiative. And from there, like,
Let me
Here I
ask you, your internship, were you paid while you were in college?
So I was in college. I was a junior. And I will say this, I went to a PWI. And so it was hard for me to get an internship.
Mhm.
I had applied to like 5 or 6 different companies. But I had a friend who also worked at the on-campus sports channel station that we worked for, who had gotten 3. He was a black male, and he got 3 internships, and he didn't want one. And the one he didn't want was
Wow.
HBO because it only paid a $500 stipend for the summer.
Oh,
and I
for
was
the
like, I'll
entire
take
summer.
that.
So no, you
Right.
didn't get paid.
And so he connected me with them, and they were like, yeah, sure. And that's how I got
Yeah,
that.
and
How
this is-
valuable it was.
And
yeah.
this is an example I'm trying to show and
Yes.
demonstrate to other up and comers, young folks who are looking for success, that internship may be free.
Yes.
Mine was free.
Non-paid, right.
I drove from Eastern Michigan University, where we attended,
Mhm.
in my last semester. Well, no, took the Greyhound bus
Wow.
to downtown Detroit
Mm-hmm.
to serve as an intern at City Council.
Mm.
But by the next year, I was on staff, and that my political career was launched.
Wow.
So the benefit of a low pay or no pay internship in the field that you want to be in is invaluable.
Agreed.
Yeah, you mentioned, and it seemed like it was really smooth, everything.
Oh.
You got to let us know some of those obstacles, being a woman in this field.
Mhm.
So my first job at HBO, what led me to start feeling like I'm not sure if this is for me is that I got passed over for my second promotion. And it was a white woman who, in my opinion, she hadn't built the reputation I had. You know, it was a small studio for HBO that we worked at. I was known for delivering, finding the things. I was the one that you could count on.
Oh.
She didn't have that.
Mhm.
She was just very like social.
The blonde hair?
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. So I felt very dissolute. I was like, wow, is this what it looks like?
Mhm.
And so I was like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I need to pivot right now. This might be a sign that I need to pivot. And so then that's when I pivoted. Like I've had jobs like over the course of my career where I was like fired and let go, but I've always been able to like get another job right away because it was usually something that was political.
I have a question following up on the topic of womanhood in this industry. I know, and I got to get this right, Delece. I don't want to get in trouble like Kev on stage. So you are a member of one of my favorite sororities, Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. Can you talk a bit about what that sisterhood has meant to you and how it's added to your journey in Hollywood? Because I know the Deltas run deep in this industry, so just curious what that's looked like for you.
So for me, it's been, I mean, I started out at Hofstra, so I pledged undergrad. And so moving out here, I wasn't active. So I didn't become active until I moved out here again from undergrad. And it was some of the women who are in the business who I'd formed friendships with organically, who were also my sorors, who encouraged me to get active and join the chapter. And so that's what kind of led me back to Delta, because I had fallen off of being active, which happens. You know, it's a lifetime commitment. So even if you're not necessarily paying your money for membership every month, you're always a member of the organization forever. But it's been great. You know, we have huge like networking events now. I started a WhatsApp chat for Deltas in Entertainment. I think we have about 150 women in it now. And so as you look across the landscape of media, we have Deltas like Mara Akil. You know, we have, there's a huge range of Deltas in the business and entertainment. So it's been great.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to give your plug, Dad?
I don't belong to a sorority. I thought we were talking womanhood and sorority. But yes, Alpha Phi Alpha in the house.
Oh, nice. Okay, is that where we're throwing it up? We're throwing up signs. But yeah, it's been great. You know, like it's important because we do go through so many struggles in this business as Black women to have other women to commiserate with. And so we may go, you know, maybe we're having a particularly rough week because we heard no a lot for projects that we really believed in. And so someone's willing to go grab a coffee or a drink and just like, sometimes you need to vent. And then other times, maybe you have a project that you've been noodling on and you can find women to collaborate with. And so that's the purpose of the group that I started within the organization is so that we can have those collaboration opportunities.
And speaking of hearing the word no, do you think that, what's the climate now for Black projects? I think you and my dad could probably weigh in on this, and you've been in the business for a while.
I'd like to hear about that, yes.
You know, I know it shifts
John?
from times. And I would want to know maybe like then and now from when you all first started, like what that roller coaster is maybe looks like.
What I see is the A-list movies have drastically eliminated opportunities for African-American actors, but the B-list movies, if you will, are thriving, led by, and I don't want to more the B-list series or what have you. I don't want to condemn. I don't want to. I like Tyler Perry. I like his. So I'm talking price when I talk that.
Yeah, what the investment is.
So a medium price series or a lower price series or film is where most of us have to operate in now. Hey, it was a big corporation that got rid of me, Warner Brothers, and now I'm with a much smaller company, Allen Media Entertainment, with a lot of different. With a lot of different perks, or lack thereof. But I love it. But that's what I see the case being, and that's Detroit as well. Yeah. We are B or B minus budgets. No, of course, closer to C and D budgets. But hey, people are watching them. So I think that Black rejection has always led to Black unity.
Yep.
And that's what I like about it. All right, they rejected us. Let's do our own thing.
And you mentioned Tyler Perry. That's what he's doing great work leading in that space, along with you and a bunch of other Black producers. That's what this
Bob
time
Johnson
calls
and
for.
I founded a urban movie channel that we changed to all Black.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's where we have to go now.
And then this might be a good follow-up too, because I know you.
Because if we don't see ourselves, why watch you?
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, yeah,
For
that's
sure.
a great
No, I
point.
know I like to see myself
and this
on TV.
again follows up to this, I
Mine
think,
looks
which
like
is
me.
Absolutely.
recently we found out this week that a film we created and worked on, Fighting to Be Me, the Dwayne Curry story, which was unexpectedly pulled from Paramount Plus. We don't know exactly why yet, but it's no longer on their streaming service. And Delece, you and my dad were EPs, and this was a project that I had an opportunity to act in, as well as a predominantly Black production staff, a predominantly Black cast.
Transgender.
The fact is that this is a film produced by a Black woman-owned production company, Megamind Media, with Tressa Smallwood. And I just asked because I was also on the heels of actor-producer Yahya Abdul Mateen II made a comment this week after his high-profile projects were shelved, Wonder Man, which did well as Blade, that was in process. He remarked that we should be asking more questions about what the business decisions are behind these decisions. And I just wonder if you all have thoughts about whether these are true business decisions. Do we deserve more transparency? Are we dealing with a more serious issue of Black erasure in Hollywood and an inability to tell our stories authentically?
I think it's Black erasure as well as gay erasure, transgender oppression.
Anything doesn't fit in the box.
Yes, and whatever doesn't fit in the conservative box.
We're going to make a couple calls. But what I've read so far is that they're transitioning all of the content over to the Paramount Plus platform.
BET.
Yes.
Plus.
And so that could be, they're transferring it from the BET Plus platform to the Paramount Plus platform. And so they're saying that maybe there's a delay in the transferring of all that. Like it takes time. And so we'll see.
We'll see.
Tonisha
and the First Lady of BMF, have they been removed?
No. So it's concerning and it's disheartening for sure. But I do think, to the judge's point earlier, like this is a time for us to rally together and unify and start producing our own content, and figuring out how we can fund it and where we can show it, where we don't have to be beholden to whatever the mandates are of the administration, whatever when the wind blows.
You have any favorites that are doing
these
some of that
people
work
now.
out right now? I know we talked about Tyler Perry. Any favorites we can name, like sitcoms, producers that you particularly like that are doing great work now in our community?
Well, I mean, you mentioned him earlier, right? Like Kev on Stage. I feel like he's operating in the system and also outside of the system. So I think he's doing a really good job of building a platform that feels authentic, that's resonating with the community.
Is Mona
Scott Young?
Is she still producing those hip-hop, Love and Hip Hop?
And
has she added more?
And I know I know they brought that to a close, but she's gotten into scripted projects also. And I think she's been working with Zeus, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, potentially.
How about Carlos King?
Carlos King is doing great work. Yeah, absolutely. Carlos, so name him. Yeah, Carlos King. I love his stuff. He's a good friend too, actually. I love Carlos. Shout out to Carlos King. I'm
the one that shouted him out. Don't take my credit.
Give him that credit.
That's right. You know how to play with my credit.
Yeah.
Everybody.
What is it? Run me my credit.
You know who else is really good is Drewski. Like, to your point, and I think it is an example of like not waiting on Hollywood.
That's the part.
Because Kev on Stage, Drewski, they all took to the internet. They took to YouTube, and that's how they blew
and
up.
I think it's fantastic that they have that venue to do that.
And they're putting our people to work.
We've been fighting these gatekeepers. Like when you talk about content from back in the day and how easy it was back then, it was hard back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's harder now, but it was always hard for us, And I think when you remove the gatekeeper piece, now you can just let creativity shine. People can tell their authentic stories. There's nobody, I'm not walking into a corporate office saying, I want to tell the story about a little Black girl from the Bronx who's had these experiences, and they're like, oh, can we make her from Queens? And actually, can she actually be this? You know what I mean? Can she be light skinned versus whatever? Like, we don't have to deal with that, right? Like, we can just tell our stories from our perspective, And I think that's valuable.
So everyone has that story of like why they got into it. You know, what shows inspired you all back then that was like your golden goose?
I just remember coming out here and meeting Keenan and Kel. That was my dad took my dad took us to, what was that? Ed the Bevics. You remember that place?
Yes.
Ed the Beverage.
Ed the Beverage.
Our executive producer who brought me to television, Alonzo Brown. Yep. He arranged for us to meet Keenan and Kel.
They were our idols at that age. Wow. I mean, we loved Good Burger, all the comedy movies they did, the skits and stuff.
That was about 25 years ago.
And we got to meet them in person. Yes. He took us to Ed the Bevics, and those were my idols. That's what, I love the funny, the humor.
And they're coming back.
Yep, they are. Jim Carrey was a big one for me also.
Yeah.
I had 2 tracks, and they were primarily, I wanted to see African Americans, I wanted to see black people.
Right.
Well, I received a lot of fulfillment, even as a child, watching black folks. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I was inspired for television based on the change it made in society. And that has been my objective, is to change behavior in society. I call myself a bootleg Oprah. I try to influence the behavior of black folks, particularly in poverty and who need direction and uplifting. But I say the reason I viewed it in that way, because that's what touched me. The autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman is probably the most influential movie in my life. Remember, I grew up during the riots. My formative years were during the black race riots. So I was Dr. King's assassination. Those were the things that helped forge my or form my world view, and thereby my desires to see on television. And let me give a lot of credit to who I think has done more for advancing race relations using television than anyone in history. He recently passed. And Norman Lear. Norman Lear had All in the Family, showed a bigoted family, but a liberal white son-in-law.
Right.
And they clashed heads, like I'm sure is the case now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what did it come with? Good Times,
Right.
showing that a black family in the projects, the father was doing the best he can to have a job. He ran a structured household.
Yes.
The children were smart and committed. And so he showed that in poverty, in projects, we still live structured and productive lives. And finally, he didn't make this one, but his final was the Jeffersons.
Yep.
Where you show now, you show rich black folks.
Yep.
Moving on up.
As you said, changing people's worldview of what's possible.
Now the funniest is what do I like to watch the most? Red Fox.
Oh,
Sanford and Son. Red
that's
Fox
the one
is
you used
just
to have us
a
watching
heavy
all the
comedian. He's a heck of a time. His timing is like that. That may be where I try to find my timing, because I know that's what impressed me the most.
He's
I
excellent.
said comic timing impressed me the most. So
He was
let me
dope.
try some of that.
Yeah, for me it was, Good Times for sure, right? Like I remember watching Good Times, and some of it was good and some of it was traumatic. Like I remember, was it Penny who got burned with the iron?
Oh, her abusive mother.
Yeah,
right.
some of it was
I
like,
forgot about that.
dang,
You're
like,
right.
wow, like,
Abusive
and it
mother,
made me feel
right.
like, okay, like my situation might be challenging, but dang, she got it worse than me. But it was really well done. But I remember a lot of the comedies, right? And so In Living Color was a big one for me. A Different World was one of my favorite shows too. I mean, I had never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? Getting this window into the Black college experience. At the time, I was like, what's an HBCU? I had no idea, because I had gone to a PWI.
Yeah.
And so it was really exciting to see that. And I'm so happy that they're bringing it back. And they're doing it in a new way.
What's
Did
that?
you see the trailer?
I did see the trailer.
It's so cinematic.
Yeah, I got you.
It looks highly. The
okay.
drama is pumped up, whereas before it was very clean. this is very dramatic and cinematic. So I'm excited about it.
Which is probably a reflection of maybe the content we're seeing coming out and just how this new generation digests information.
Kind of like how Bel Air was.
Yeah, exactly.
Carlton in the closet doing drugs.
Right.
Yes, that's another one they reimagined.
Yeah,
Came back.
yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited
I'm
about
excited
that
for
one too.
that one too, actually. Yeah.
Right. I remember we had our basic stations. What was it? ABC, CBS, and
NBC.
Didn't even have Fox yet,
All
right?
right, and then as time went on, we got the other stations like Channel 20 or something.
Independent
Yeah,
stations.
the independent stations. But no, most definitely, those were my shows growing up. And they made a difference because we were able to see somebody who looked like us on TV.
1,000%.
See, Batman wore the mask, so we didn't know what color he was, so we watched
And the
Batman.
Power Rangers did too, I guess. but you know what you just made me think of, Mom? You told me a story one time, and I don't remember the name of the show, but when when I was dealing with issues around my sexuality and my sexual orientation, you talked about seeing a family on television that shifted your view of what it could look like to have a LGBTQ child.
Yeah, it wasn't an African American show. It was called Parenthood. I love Parenthood. Sally Field.
It was a great show.
Yes, and she was the matriarch of a family, and she had grown children. And one of her children was a son, and he was married. He was married to his partner, and I think they might even had a child. But I looked at that and thought just how different families can be. And it's not about, it's about the love.
Yeah.
And on that show, it was nothing negative. It was all about the love of that family. And they were there at the family, everybody just together at family gatherings. And I just thought, hey, if that happened to me, I'd be so cool with it. And you see what happened.
I know.
Look what you got yourself.
Yes.
I love that.
So it really shows the impact that TV and different movies and stuff can have on you.
Yeah,
Change your views.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you used to mention all the time about how just showing different families on TV, black families, because some people don't have that interaction with people of color.
Most folks in their assessment and observation of our community is based on stereotypes. And so when the stereotypes come, we have to work to defeat them. In this case, with same-sex relationships, I think they have to show it more to normalize it on television so it won't be a big deal. It won't be so different. The only difference is what you do behind that closed door and how you feel about yourself.
And back to Tyler Perry doing great work in this space. Beauty in Black is one of the biggest hits on TV today. And it has set multiple same-sex storylines.
And Lee Daniels with Empire.
Lee Daniels obviously pioneer.
And
Lee
both of
Daniels,
those,
Jussie Smollett, all
well,
of
we
them.
know, yes.
Do you think that'll start changing now that we have the administration we have in the White House? You think that'll start changing?
It has.
Right?
I've heard explicitly from my friends, producers, even Lee Daniels at his level, they are hearing that they are not green lighting anything with same-sex storylines right now. So most of the new shows you see are being pushed by pioneers or already in development. But that is the word from a lot of the studios at this time, is that that's just not going to happen under this administration.
Amir, what's your thoughts? You've pitched shows and you've successfully pitched shows, Mathis Family, and I didn't make a call. I always tell people I did not make a call on Mathis Family show that they aired on television. I wasn't too excited about doing it. I didn't think he would pull it off. I said, sure, son, go ahead. That joker came back and said he had a deal.
Well, I think Delece knows that when you're in a pitch meeting with Judge Greg Mathis, he runs the show.
Yeah.
And he has sold his shows, he has sold it. And so what I wanted for our show, since I did create it, me and Simone Spira, we created this show, worked so hard for it. I wanted to be able to say that I did it. And also, if it did not sell, I didn't want to be able to say, oh, Dad didn't, it was Dad's fault that it didn't work out. And so
that's fair.
I think that in terms of green light and stuff, I would say, I pitched a few shows. I've developed shows with Delece and with you all. There's so many reasons why shows don't get picked up. But I think that the biggest thing that I have heard is that if you pitch to networks a show or topic or idea, you can't keep holding on to that idea if they say no the first round. They have a reason. You got to just start fresh.
What if you go to a few?
Yeah, but I'm saying
Go to a few, and then if that few no one bites, then you get another project.
Correct. Yeah, and I say that you do your rounds, but some people, they'll like go to Warner Brothers, they'll go to all these networks, and then they'll say, you know what, we changed this idea a little bit. Let's take it back to Warner Brothers and see what they say. That's not productive.
Unless they ask you to, right?
Correct. But that was the biggest thing that I learned is just like you got to keep it moving. You got to keep finding new things to throw at the board.
See, man, don't listen to his daddy. I told him Tommy got in the business and we were on the development team. He worked for me. I said, we got to have 15 shows lined up a year.
Absolutely.
Didn't I? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. How many shows get pitched a year? 10,000 shows pitched a year.
Yeah.
100 picked up.
Because every day you get 200 shows pitched between production companies, studio development executives, agents, and directly to producers. So with all those, you got about 200 pitched a day. So I might be closer to 5,000, but my point is it's in the mid to 10,000.
All right. And so in terms of we're talking about Greenlight, I got a little fun game. You know, we got to make things a little fun and funny up in here. This is a game called Greenlight, Rewrite, or Pass.
Okay.
And so basically I'm going to give a show idea. And you say Greenlight, that could be a hit. Let's do that. Or Rewrite, which is you're on the right path, but it needs some network notes.
Now, before we hurt anybody's feelings, are these your ideas?
I'm gonna be shooting.
We don't want to crush your dream, man.
I'm gonna be shooting out ideas. These
aren't your concepts that you worked months and years to develop, and now you're gonna have us right.
Every single one, to be honest.
You wrote out these concepts.
Yes, but
nobody gonna rule on your stuff.
I did it in a week, so we'll see.
I'll let your mama judge.
And then we got Pass, which is the project is bad and you can't save it.
Oh no, I thought these were projects you may have been pitching in the past
They are, and you're gonna hear
in the last week. He said,
"That's what I'm saying."
In the last week,
you ain't pitched them to nobody in the last week. A studio.
You don't know that.
Amir is an idea
I keep you out of my business deals as we've spoken. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so this is
you don't want me to tell you why you quit on me. You said I work too much. That was the man. You ever seen anybody quit their job because they work too much?
I lived with him and I worked with him. When I got home, I would be in bed watching a movie, and he would come in. Yeah, so
knock.
I got this. This. I'm like, Dad, come on, man. It's boundaries. It's setting boundaries.
Right.
And he did not respect my boundaries.
No, I work all the time in my mind.
I know,
I assume everybody else does.
And you probably experienced that where you got a little mouthful because you didn't pick up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I was gonna say she could go home and not answer the phone.
Facts. That's so funny.
But I got to tell you, if you didn't have a family, I'd have probably been calling you at night. But I didn't want to disrespect your husband and your
you
child.
said what I was thinking. I was like, that's why he didn't probably.
I mean, look, when I worked for
Little
U.S.
at the time.
senators, they would call in the middle of the night, and you better pick up the phone. It's part of the job.
I mean, I was gonna also just add to that. Like when I first started at HBO, CBS, and Fox, those three, I was the first one in, the last one out. I was answering emails at midnight and 1 a.m. because it's like you're trying to, especially it's the black tax. Like you have to stand out and be excellent and be better and more available than everybody else. And so that was my motto.
So what we saying? Let's tell me what you came up with.
So first idea, and remember it's Greenlight, Rewrite, or Pass.
Copy.
First show right here, Judge After Dark.
Greenlight.
Hey, that's all you need is a title, huh?
Yep.
Judge opens a relationship advice hotline
goodness.
after midnight. Couples call in with their mess, and Judge gives them a ruling, despite Linda repeatedly minding everyone he is not qualified.
Oh, can we greenlight this and add it to the podcast?
That's Greenlight.
Greenlight.
It's Linda.
Greenlight.
Greenlight.
It's unanimous.
And she butts in just so you know, he don't know all that. He don't know the answers.
Right.
Here's a show, Finding Linda. Linda takes off on a luxury vacation with her girlfriends. Judge has 48 hours to figure out where she went.
Pass.
Rewrite.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might have notes on that one, but I like the idea.
Yeah, there's a
Notes.
nugget in there.
Rewrite. Depends on if it's a real
Yes.
search for Linda.
He said pass.
Maybe
I'm gonna be just as mad as I am trying to find her. So that's what they'll do. This son of a gun, where the hell could she have went? Dog it, Linda. Instead of out here searching and
She sends you
Where's
picture
my baby?
clues.
Yeah,
Yes.
She sends you picture clues.
It could be like an Eat, Pray, Love. Is on her like journey. She's at the
There's
ashram.
something there. There's
Yes.
something. We got
I think that's a rewrite.
Yeah.
Judge Mathis, undercover boss. Judge puts an increasingly terrible disguise on and secretly works entry-level jobs to find out whether young people really don't want to work anymore or if these jobs are truly terrible.
green light.
I would love to see you on a show, and it might sound boring, but just working at an insurance company and just on orientation day. You would just be like, this is terrible.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I get it.
Oh, Undercover Boss, I love. They had a show like that. I think that's the funniest thing. You
That
can
was
catch
like
people
that,
when
yeah.
they don't know.
I think that the
Yeah.
hardest part for that show is convincing companies to let him choose whether their jobs that they offer are terrible or not.
Right.
There aren't a lot of jobs. Our next TV show is Delece Knows Best. Delece
Pass.
goes into struggling production companies and fires everyone she believes is slowing down development.
Green light.
Absolutely
I would
green
have
light.
watched that.
That's
cute.
hilarious.
And she'll do it so nice, nasty. That's what I see her doing it nice, nasty.
I am known for a little nice
Yeah,
nasty.
she got it in her.
Let's see how that will go. So let's say you walk into a company and you notice that you have to let Gregory go.
Yeah, let's do a test.
So Gregory,
Yes.
my goodness.
I've been doing great, right?
You have incredible charisma.
Thank you.
And
I've
I
heard
think
that.
you would do a much better job at the front desk because the computer skills that are needed for this job are just so tedious.
I type 120 words a minute.
But they're so tedious. What you're bringing to the table, this charisma,
Wait,
it's
wait,
limited
wait.
behind the computer.
What does tedious mean again?
People need to see you. People need to see your face.
See, that's why you don't
And they
need, you
cannot
need to be
see
moved. You
you.
don't know what
Okay.
tedious means.
And the last part would be like, and there's no front desk open here, so you would have to
Right.
find
I am going to recommend
you would have to
you
find
to another
front desk
network.
hosting.
Yes.
across the street.
That's a good one, Amir.
another front desk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
All right. Ooh, here's this one. The Real Policy Advisors of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Greg hosts former congressional staffers who live in a mansion where they drink wine and scream at each other about health care legislation.
Wow.
And smoke cigarettes while talking about health care legislation.
I'm going to pass on that one.
That's a great show.
Pass.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
think I'm
pass
going to
for
go
me.
with Linda. I got to pass on that
Y'all don't
one.
want to see a bunch of nerds arguing in the mansion?
Not at
Well,
all.
only if they can argue, only if they're arguing about politics
Yeah.
and specific politicians. So that's a rewrite. If they're able to talk about specific politicians, then yes.
Okay.
Folks want to hear them old dirty stories about them dirty
He
old
just
men.
told you they were going to be talking about health care.
Well, that's the rewrite. He said they got to talk
Right.
about dirty politicians
Correct.
Yeah.
and stories and inside the Beltway stories. as they
Correct.
call them.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
We
Yeah.
need the truth.
Inside the Beltway.
But you only get the truth when you give them a little bit of wine.
and,
Okay.
and a lot of bit of money.
Oh,
Fair.
free dinners, free everything.
The hookups.
All the perks.
All the hookups.
Because they won't be able to work in politics after that.
Exactly.
Career's
That's my point.
over.
You got to make it worth it.
Then this one is one of the. I think this will be a green light. This is the last one. The Youngest Mathis, a reality show where Amir spends every episode complaining that nobody respects him and everyone calls him a know-it-all because he's the youngest child.
Ah.
Hmm.
So it's a little Curb Your
A reality
Enthusiasm, a little.
No, it's a reality. It's just me sitting there talking about nobody respect me. And they
Oh,
think
you
I'm a
just
We're
know-it-all.
going to pass on
Just
that
in
one
a
for
chair.
sure.
Pass.
That's not even a rewrite.
Oh, I tried to rewrite it for
Nowhere
you.
near
Nobody
a
I'll
green
respect
light.
you or listen to you.
That's why I felt it was like a little Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It would be if it wasn't reality.
But you're sitting there
Yeah,
by
but that's
yourself.
No.
Rewrite,
But
rewrite.
rewrite. So in this
Seriously.
version, I would still know everything and know things, but y'all just wouldn't believe me because I'm the youngest child, right?
Oh.
Is that how that goes?
Is that why you turned into a know-it-all dictator around here?
I have slowed down. I've tried to slow down. I'm not going to let Greg talk because we got into a screaming match the other day. So
you were the only one screaming.
You keep your opinions to yourself. But
about your behavior, you're hovering over us.
Oh.
I've tried to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned the words, yes, boss. Yes, sir.
He's terrible.
What
He's
next,
terrible.
sir?
We're going
What
to put
next,
both of
sir?
y'all on the show together, and y'all we'll rewrite it.
Really?
If Kamara, as
yeah.
sweet as she is, I've never heard her say anything negative about anybody. She called the man a dictator.
So you're just a perfectionist.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Thank you.
Control
welcome.
freak.
But which
No.
goes with perfectionist. It's okay.
I mean, it's connected.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's the yin and the yang.
With this podcast, would you rather try and strive for perfection or just have a, loosely podcast where
I think we
everyone,
want to strive for
where everyone's
perfection.
rambling?
Well, I think we're going for Black excellence.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I mean, that's
Thank
what we're
you.
here for, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
agree.
this is the Mathis family,
This is.
right? We
We got
talk
a
about
standard.
Black excellence.
And we did a good job today. Give yourselves a hand.
Yes.
So we talked about a lot today. One thing that I want to bring it home with is like what the future looks like in this industry and what we can do for the next generation. I mean, there's so many amazing ways to get your work product out here today, like microdramas, smaller budget films. I mean, I think there's still something to be said about the discrepancy that Black artists face compared to white artists. I mean, you have Tom Holland making $100 million off one movie while we're, making microdramas still. But what does that future look like, and how can we pave a better way for the new generation, I guess?
I think it's a little bit of the Wild Wild West right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably a good thing. It's going to be important. I think the youth are in a great place. They're not having to unlearn the way the business was done.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us who've been in the business for 15, 20, 30 years, we're now having to pivot from like being reliant on studios and networks for funding to like believe that if we have an idea, we can execute it. We have enough resources and we have enough of a circle of friends and people to be able to execute an idea effectively. And so I think that's the part that is the future.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many ways to do that. Like right now, a lot of people are putting content up on YouTube, right? But that's also still, even though it feels like a great opportunity, we don't know if YouTube at some point will go away.
Mm-hmm.
So like now it's like, what are those things that we can do to create our own platforms, right? You look at what I think Taye Diggs just did.
Yes.
He created a microdrama platform, which is a big deal. Like he's a very well-known actor and people were shocked. They were like, Taye Diggs is getting into microdramas?
And Keke Palmer
But
has
it's
her
a
Key
huge-
TV network,
Yes,
which is huge now.
but it's like there is a space in it, and now they are the people who are driving the culture in a new way, and I think that's exciting.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's that creator economy of if you have an idea, go for it, and you see people are being successful with it.
In fact, YouTube is the largest, has the largest viewership
Yes.
of any
Yep.
platform.
They're
Streaming,
moving the Oscars to
everything
YouTube.
else. Wow. All
In
right.
2028 or something like that, they're moving the Oscars.
Yeah,
over
and
to
those
YouTube.
I did see
are money splits. So I like revenue split, revenue share.
Yes.
So I like that model. You make your own stuff. You cut a deal with or you put it on YouTube, and as you increase with your viewership, you increase with your payments or revenue from them.
Yeah. So it's exciting.
Yep.
What do you all think you owe the next generation hearing this? Like, do you feel a responsibility to give people guidance and advice and help this new generation?
Yes, and one of the things I think we have an obligation to do is to give them the legacy information as well. History is always a guide to the future, and as you just said, who knows what's coming after YouTube? So we have to let them know to be flexible. We have to give them some history on how this entertainment industry has evolved and devolved. So in that sense, I think that's one.
Thank you so much, Delece.
You're
Thank you. Yeah, this has been
Thank
great.
you.
Yay.
About me.
Thank
So all
you.
this information that you should be thanking our guests.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. That's proper protocol. Thank our guests.
Thank
I mean,
you.
Then
you
we'll
know
worry
what I
about you later,
love?
okay?
What's that?
I love that the judge is consistent.
Yes, he is.
I've known him for 11 years, and
That's
he
right.
is consistent.
Same way. As you've heard today, Hollywood is changing, but not dying. You have to take control yourself. There are other platforms you can put your material on now. In fact, there are revenue sharing platforms. You don't have to wait and depend on a studio to pick your show up and wrangle with them about your pay. And the fact is that our community in particular, we've always been locked out to a much larger extent than any other community. And so now we're doing it for ourselves. Anytime they reject and lock us out of an industry, do it for ourselves is what we must do. We're doing it with All Black, the streaming network. We're doing it with Tyler Perry's productions. We're doing it with Ryan Coogler and many others. Do for yourself and they'll come after you, in fact. Lastly, let's continue to fight for representation of our reality in television and in film. You know, one major studio has engaged in removing content that might be viewed as progressive or liberal. And so let's fight back by coming together, working together to establish ourselves on other platforms, and then continue to fight and watch for those who want to erase and remove our images from society. I'm Judge Mathis, and that's my verdict.